I know you've been vibing on something this weekend, bro. What you got for us today?
First of all, honorable mention.
Uh-huh.
I'd like to shout out SeJoe, Haitian comedian.
Mm-hmm. I've been seeing him. He kind
This
of lit.
nigga, this nigga,
He
this
kind of
nigga's
lit. I
lit.
ain't gonna lie.
This nigga's lit.
I've
He
been seeing him.
I came across him and like I'm late to the game. I ain't go, you know what I mean? I'm be honest. I'm late to
I've
the
been seeing him
game.
for a bit. Yeah.
I've started following him maybe last year sometime on Instagram, right? But apparently this dude has already a whole universe that he had created,
Yeah.
you know, and he's been working at this for a while. So shout out to him. But SeJoe has a comedy special on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
It's called Nou Chaje Pwoblèm.
That's fire.
Right? That means we got a lot of problems.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
We got a lot of problems. And I'm just putting the plug in there to watch it. If you right, it's a smart stuff. Let me jump to the end real quick and say this. One of the things I wanted to really gauge as I was watching it was, is people laughing just because he's Haitian and the novelty of, like, it's a Haitian audience.
I'll be honest.
And a Haitian comedian.
I'll be honest.
So
I
like,
thought about that.
They
too.
laughing because, you know, they just got giving them like charity laughs. You know what I mean? Like that. But no, the nigga's good.
He's actually funny.
The nigga's good. He's funny. He's smart. Yeah. Right? The dude is so smart. He there was this one joke.
And it's a lot of observational comedy. That's what makes it really, really good.
Yeah, observing on how the behavior of Haitians in America, Haitians in Haiti, and just the whole vibes of being a millennial in this whole space of social media and all that as Haitian compared to our parents' generation and stuff. But he has this one joke. This nigga starts a joke in French. In the middle part of the joke goes to Creole and ends it in English. This is the one whole joke, and it makes sense. And you have to know all three languages for the whole joke to make sense.
That's impressive.
Like,
That's impressive.
I know a little bit of French, so I got the French part, and then I got the Creole part, of course. And I was like, "Dude, this nigga's good. This nigga's good." He did one joke that was a Creole, a Creole Spanish joke, right? It's like the punchline happened in Spanish. It was, and he wasn't even talking about the language part at that point, because he does mention the whole language thing. Like, the one thing to do says, man, be like, stop it with this whole French shit in Haiti. Stop it. Don't nobody fucking speak French over there, right? There's like 1% of the population speak French. But all these Haitians that try to be all extra bougie and stuff, right? The ones that were bougie actually learned French in school because but that's like 1% of the population.
Yeah, it's a very small percentage.
Everybody else is speaking Creole, right?
The national language is Creole. Stop the cap.
Granted, well, the national language is officially French, but nobody's
of Haiti right now. It's officially Creole.
Did they change? I thought it was the official national language was French. I don't know.
Let's check it. I looked at this. Maybe a couple of weeks ago, just on a random kind of Google search.
Really?
Yeah, and it said Creole.
It's the official language. No, why my birth certificate in French though, bro? What you talking about?
No,
what are you talking about? The language emerged from contact between French settlers and enslaved Africans. Okay, still part of the diaspora during the Atlantic slave trade. The Atlantic slave trade mattered there too. Okay, don't get that twisted. So American black folks, right? Don't be acting like y'all different than the Caribbean black, especially Caribbean black folks. Sometimes be acting like they a little bit more I don't know, more down to the roots than African Americans.
Absolutely not. Actually, the slave trade was even worse in the Caribbean. Like the actual practices, and I can even point you guys to a book that actually verifies that. It's called The Black Jacobins. But it was actually
1619 Project.
1619 Project. Yeah, it was even worse in the Caribbean. As a matter of fact, Jamaica was a prison. Actually, Jamaica was it was worse in Jamaica as well. But Jamaica and Haiti, So go ahead.
Although its vocabulary largely derives from 18th century French, its grammar is that of a West African Volta Congo language branch, particularly the Fongbi and Igbo languages.
And this is why, like with our facial features, a lot of Haitians look like Congolese people. Congolese. Some of us kind of look a little Senegalese, but like most of us look like we have similar face features to the Congolese people because a lot of us came from Congo. So
all the same ancestors. So
all the same ancestors. All of it. Yeah.
There was a lot of man. I love the how what SeJoe is doing, man. Like and he talks about a lot of the history and stuff about how it is growing up being Haitian in America.
Especially like in the 90s, how it was in the 90s.
In the 90s, you know what I mean? Like there was a lot of self-hate, man, and a lot of self-hate. Now I don't just mean like in between Haitian and Haitian, and I'm talking about like black people, man. Like,
black people, like
we all the same, really. And niggas didn't really go to appreciate all of that back in the 90s, and calling the Haitians that they know boat people, you know what I mean, and stuff like that.
It's that American entitlement, man. That's it. Yeah. It comes from that. All of it.
Not realizing that, like, what makes you ashamed of being black? You black, bro. You black in America. Like, who are you? This is kind of what we were talking about last time with the poor whites shitting on niggas. You know what I mean? Not realizing that they poor too. You know, these niggas, these black people, these African Americans that was like shitting on Haitians, like. Nigga, you still black in America. You think you better than me? This is America. You black in America. We're supposed to have solidarity from the jump, right? But there's been, all these bridges are being rebuilt over time. Millennials are doing it different. And SeJoe talks about this kind of stuff, and he's a millennial himself. And it's funny stuff. Now, go support him, all right? It's $4.99 for this comedy special. If you speak Creole, you'll be fine. You speak Creole and English, you'll be fine. There's some French in there, but he actually rails against the French language like that, right? Because he's like, I'm Haitian, I'm speaking Haitian. I'm speaking Creole, you know what I mean? I'm speaking like a Haitian. Like, I don't know, this whole French thing is overrated. Although I still would like to learn French, but just because I want to just have the education of it, you know what I mean? Just the freaking knowledge of learning multiple languages. So that's just an honorable mention. It's funny. It's not charity jokes. When I just it's not charity laughs. It's smart.
He's actually funny.
It's funny. He's actually funny. So I definitely recommend checking that out. That's the point. But in terms of the music side, man, he did it again. It's not me.
You're biased.
It's not
man, you're biased. No,
it can't be. Dog.
Oh my God.
Nas dropped another joint.
The folks out there, Nas is one of my brother's favorite hip hop artists.
It can't just be me. He dropped another joint and it's fire. My guy
this is coming from a guy who has Illmatic on vinyl.
I just
so
got
the bias is there
with that. All right, I just got that one. But bro, Hit Boy and Nas was a match made.
Yeah, Hit Boy's one.
I've heard Hit Boy and other stuff too, and I like Hit Boy and other production and other artists stuff. I mean, it's not always a hit. It's decent sometimes. There's some misses. But bro, Magic 2, they did it 5 for 5. Magic 2 is this guy's having, he's calling his third. Nas called it his third Renaissance. I remember what he called it. He said he's one of the tracks he was saying it like his third. So I'm not sure exactly what the second was. I know the first, of course. You drop in, Illmatic, it was written and then Stillmatic, so yeah, that first start of your career was like, that's a good, was it from 94 to 2001? That's a good run. That's a good run. You know what I mean? You drop a couple other albums that aren't classic albums necessarily. That may have some gems in there, but that's the normal trajectory. You know what I mean? Rappers maybe have a good 3-4 albums, and then they probably drop a couple of whatever, and they totally have a catalog of maybe 8 or 9 albums, and then they just can run around on their old shit when they do shows and stuff like that. This nigga is dropping new shit. And he's able to do shows. He can do shows on his new shit, not just the old hits. I don't know exactly. I don't know when the second.
Do you think he's having like a resurgence?
I think this is the a second renaissance. he called it a third. I'm not sure when the second was. So I don't know if it was. So unless it's something outside of rap, because a lot of what these older rappers do is they get into business. You know what I mean? He's got some liquor business. I think he's doing he does with is it Hennessy?
Yeah, with Hennessy. He got some with Hennessy, yep.
I think he got something with Hennessy. Matter of fact, he talked about that in one of the songs. He's talking about he introduced Tupac to Hennessy. He mentioned to like Tupac was like, "Well, what's this?" You know, he kind of thing. Yeah. Like he actually introduced him. Tupac said, so some Tupac lyrics when you think of that Hennessy and shit like that. So it's interesting to see that.
That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool.
If Nas was actually want to introduce him to that,
that's interesting.
But on the tail end of your career, and you're not just off the business joint, you're actually you're putting albums out, and you put out 5 albums in the span of I think it's 3 years. 5 albums in 3 years. Busta Rhymes put out an album, I think last year. It was all right. But when was the last time you got a Busta Rhymes album? Probably 8 years ago?
Yeah, man.
8 years before that or something like that?
A minute, yeah.
Killer Mike has been doing the Killer Mike and LP joint, right? Which with the Run the Jewels, they've been doing for a while. But Killer Mike himself didn't put out an album in ages, right? Just a solo joint. And so it's you have these other artists like that. They're statesmen. They're dropping even Jay-Z. We dropped 444, which was great, but he hadn't dropped anything in a while. I mean, the last project he did before then was he did some joint with Beyonce, and then he did the Watch the Throne with Kanye. Watch the Throne with Kanye, stuff like that. But as a solo work, it's been a minute, and this nigga this nigga linked up with Hit Boy, and I'm not tired of it. I'm not tired of it because it's the dude is giving me gems. The dude is giving me gems, and y'all complained about Nas's beat selections his whole fucking career, right? Now he's got a dude that's giving him dope beats, and mind you, it's not like he's selling out and making nothing but fucking club joints. He's not doing Drake. He's not doing Drake shit. He's not turning into trying to turn some freaking the Baby and Migos and them doing stuff like that. He's still fucking giving you bars, and honing the craft and pushing the craft of rapping. Remember what I told you before about putting words and sentences together?
The artistry
of it. Yeah. He's doing that, and
I can appreciate that. Yeah.
And King's Disease 1, 2, and 3 was dope. He did Magic 1 with him, and now Magic 2. I need that. I didn't know it was dropping. I wasn't even looking out for it. I'm just so surprised because and he's dropping with the frequency of these dudes. Is dropping albums all the time. Freaking how many albums? Jid dropping albums all the damn time. I love it. You know what I mean? I like him. So he's just dropping albums all the time. Freaking RJ Payne. You know what I mean? Dropping album a year. You know what I mean? Every year, boom, is gonna give you something. Matter of fact, I think the last year RJ dropped 2. These artists are putting work out there fast. What up, fam? It's Darwin, the guy that was just talking. First off, thanks for watching and supporting the show. But I gotta give y'all some homework. Your challenge, if you choose to accept it, is to interact with the show. That means 1, hitting that like button, because I know you like our stuff. 2, make sure you subscribe, so we can swim our way up your timeline whenever we drop new content. The third thing, please share the channel with your friends. Maybe they'll learn a thing about a thing or two. Oh, last thing, we're over here talking about what y'all talking about. So go ahead and carry that conversation on into the comments. We be up in there too. Often
they're flooding the market for sure.
Right, they're flooding it, right? And even if it's just an EP they put out, and so for Nas to be an elder statesman, who as an elder statesman, they're used to okay, maybe I'll drop something in every 3 years, every 4 years, or even like I said, like a Jay-Z or Busta, that here's something something new to show you that I still got the wave. I can still do this. Black Thought been dropping albums. You know what I mean? Black Thought is another one that's been dropping. It's not as high frequency, but I think he dropped at least 2. I think he did one. He did the Danger Mouse joint. Yeah, I think Black Thought's been dropping an album a year, the past 4 years, if I recall. And there was one that was recently came out. And so that's dope that Nas could do that, and he found this producer that's working with him like that, and I'm not tired of the beat. It's not like, oh, I kind of feel I got all that energy already from, you know, KD2 or you know what I mean, or Magic 1. So it's like it's kind of getting stale. It's not stale at all. It's great stuff. I looked at where is this thing? I looked at the remember I told you one thing I like to do is go through and give it a thumbs up and see what my record is like on there. And so there's about 10 listening tracks on there if we remove the interludes, right? And the intro. 8 out of 10 thumbs up. 8 out of 10. And the other 2, I don't mind keeping it on. I'm just gonna play the album straight through. 8 out of 10 thumbs up. Bro, 50 has a feature.
Oh, Nas?
On a Nas joint. But you know, they both from like Queens area and shit like that, right? So like that collab and stuff. So it's like, if 50 got the bars and that flow is nice. There's a little give and go at the end and everything. Like that shit is the shit. And with
I know that's kind of hard, Roy.
That shit goes. That track is dope. That's probably one of my favorite tracks on the Office Hours. It's called Office Hours. So check that one out.
I think what makes it interesting is like a 50 feature, like now with all that 50 is doing is kind of clean because it's like it's not really expected.
He's like, I can still do this. He's like, I can still do this.
Like he still got that 50 Cent that you kind of like that you kind of like that you kind of like you enjoyed hearing from like when 50 was really had the game on Smash back then. Like
when you say like I missed the old Kanye, it's like I missed the old 50.
Yeah,
you know but it's because he doesn't put live music out like that. I mean,
because
this is what I'm saying. He's doing all these other ventures and stuff. This is what you grow up in the game. You should be doing that. You know, you add to your business portfolio and everything. But like how like Arrows was his freaking Journey, the band Journey and freaking. Excuse me, Paul McCartney and these guys, you know what I mean? They Elton John, I think Elton John is retiring now, finally, but not to say that he needs to, but like these other genres get to have old acts.
So much longevity.
Freaking Smokey Robinson just came out with a joint. You know what I'm saying? And so like, why not rappers? You know what I mean? So keep coming out with your work, keep putting work out there. As long as your shit's still, it's just, dog. The proof is in the pudding, dog. Your shit banging, the people gonna love it. People gonna flock to it. There's probably people that are like 10 years, 15 years younger than us now that just heard Nas for the first time in KD1, for example, and they put it on. And if they really like hip hop, if they're into like the Griselda joints, they're into like Earth Gang and
they definitely gonna like Nas.
You know, then they like they're into J. Cole and these guys. They're they would hear Nas coming across their feed. They'd be like, oh. They would never even think to go look up this guy's age.
Yeah.
The nigga is 49.
Wow.
That boy is 49.
Oh, that boy Nas is he up there.
Having a whole resurgence on your ass. Right. And it's not even a resurgence necessarily. You can't even it's almost not fair to call it that because he's been out here, he's been putting in the work. And granted, some albums have been like a little bit lackluster, but he still did the work. He still put it out there. And to now where he gets to be matched up with this person, it's like you finally have that piece that you needed, and they do work together. Him and Hit Boy, I feel like. So some producers, right? I guess it's most what happens. This doesn't happen often, but a lot of times there's these producers that would like have a beat. They will sell you the beat as an artist, whatever, right? Or you have you lay down your vocals, whatever, and with the beat, and then you send it off to some other place, and they engineer it all and just make sure it matches and everything. And y'all could be all in different states, making an album together. Yeah. In different, bro, the way that Magic 2 comes across, I feel like they moved into a house together, and they produced that bit. They put their head down. They locked themselves in the same room. Yeah. And had that bit DoorDash, whatever the fuck they needed. Like it felt that symbiotic, like in terms of like the way Hit Boy's production would meld with Nas's cadence or particular affectation at the time that he wants to come across. It's just a great collabo. Irvin Magic Johnson, track number 7 with back to back with the what this really means, that shit goes. That shit goes. I love the fact that he has several references. I like this too. I like when artists do that. There's several references in here. The album's called Magic too, man. Talk about some magic shit. Damn it. Yeah. The first song is called Abracadabra. You know what I mean? And there's some lyrics in here where he's talking about, he's talking about my hands is too quick. Check your card. He's like, my hands is too quick. Check your pockets for my card. Or for the card or some shit like that. Well, he said something like that, right? And so like, yeah, that's kind of cool that he actually kept the theme for that thing. So I don't know if he maybe considered is Magic. Maybe Magic is considered a concept album. I didn't look that part up, but this is sort of thing you would do when you call it a concept art or concept album. And it all ends with one mic, one gun, right? Which is, of course, you go back, all I need is one mic, one mic. And this one is featuring 21 Savage. So there's two features, there's 50 Cent and 21 Savage.
Interesting.
And the song it's fucking beautiful, man. It's like, it's the type of thing where, okay, I'm listening to this album and I'm thinking, I'm having a conflict in my head. I'm like, damn, man, this is just good. He's got 5 for 5. This nigga should retire. Just don't do no more. Just don't do nothing else. Just stop it. Just I want him to, because I like seeing the GOATs go out on top, dog. Like fucking what Tom Brady? What you doing? Like as much as I hate Tom Brady, but like bro, like you won the Super Bowl in the Tampa Bay, bro. Retire for good. You came back that last year and it was trash. The whole squad was trash. Like everything for sure. Come on, man. Go out on top when you still can't. You like you being. I don't know, man. People just they.
It's greed. It's greed.
You don't know what to do with yourself or something, dog. So the piece of me just wanted
that too. Yeah.
Piece of me wants Nas to be like, okay, that's it. Yeah. I'm done. Drop the mic. But I also have this other thought in my head. I still need something else though. I need this is weird. This is gonna be weird. But I want Nas to do a Drake album. Like a Drake style album. I want to see if he could actually make some if he could make it. Like this is, and he doesn't have to. This isn't his style. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Could Nas be like, you know what, just to show y'all, you know what I mean? I could make a bunch of radio hits. We still play If I Rule the World. If we, that was on the radio. That was a radio hit. Yeah. I think it was because that was at a time where hip hop was like collectively people like the boom bap was collectively what we all accepted as like hip hop. So that's it wasn't so what I'm saying is now right now it's like it's the hip hop is pop music. Yeah, exactly. This Drake shit is pop music, it's right? Pop music, that's what it is. And so could Nas make a pop hip hop album with like some booty shaking shit in there, some club shit in there, some like poppy shit. You know what I mean? Like like Tootsie Slide type shit, or
you know what? I think it is possible. I think he could because that he had a song that was like that Uchiwali. You remember that song?
Yeah, Uchiwali. Yep.
Yeah, like that was a club. But I'm saying
like so if he did,
he has the ability. He has the ability to do so. I think.
I want to see him put together an album,
like a whole album like that. That would be interesting.
Just for the LOLs, dog. Just for the lols. Okay. But if he doesn't do that. The one thing that I definitely would love to have from it, bro, I could die happy if Nas and Jay-Z did a Watch the Thrones too. If it was just Nas and Jay-Z.
But people have been asking for that for decades, though. We've
been asking for an album. Give me a Watch the Thrones too.
Bro, we've been asking for that for decades.
Call that bit that bit'll be Magic 3. Make that bit Magic 3. This is Magic 2? To be honest, that bitch Magic 3. I only Kanye to produce. I only Kanye produce it. It could still be Hit Boy.
I ain't gonna that actually I think that would be fire. Like, cause that's something that I think like hip hop fans have been wanting for decades though.
And they on the same team now.
Yeah.
And they on the same team now.
Yeah.
Bro, you put Nas and Jay-Z on an album, dog. Like Magic 3.
It's almost like they kind of have to, man. Like they do it. They gotta have to at some point. Like they should
do it, and they could both then drop the mic on everybody. It's like we done. Yeah. We are in the rafters. We are on Mount Rushmore.
They could definitely very well do that.
Right? I mean, yeah. Nas and Jay-Z, in my top 3. That's me. This album called this is wild. It's called Efferusphere, right? It's not a real word. The nigga made it up, right?
Definitely is a made up word.
It's a made up word, right? By Big Wild. Big Wild. Actual name is Jackson Snell. He is he's a producer, really. What he is, he's like a hit boy, right? Matter of fact, how he got started in the game was in high school producing beats, influenced by Dre, by Kanye, by NERD, Pharrell and them, Timbaland. These were the styles of genre that influenced this white boy, right? Shout out to him though, you know what I mean? But it's like, hey, yo, you gotta give where you get the culture from, you know what I mean? You gotta make sure you shout them out every time you do, you know what I mean? And pay some homage. And so he then later got, and he used to make a living like this. This is how he made money, right? By selling beats and stuff. He got into college and got more into the electronic dance music vibe, you know, and so he later was able to meld some of the skills and the sounds and the beat, you know, especially with EDM, that bass drops, you know what I mean? That beat drops, you know, that's a big part is the drop in some songs. And she transitioned a lot of the stuff he learned from his hip hop production into his electronic kind of sound that he has now. So the album Efferusphere actually dropped last year. So that's not what the vibes is currently. That's just some background, right? And by the way, his name is Big Wild, and what that is generally he went out to Cali, and I think it's Cali. There's an area called Big Surf or something like that, and
yes.
and it gave him this vision of like wow, this is this planet, this Earth, this like you're just looking at the wide deserts, you know what I mean, and everything. He's like, it's just a wild world out there. This is a big wild world, and so this kind of stuck with him, Big Wild. So that's how he got in. You know, just random name. I mean, shit. We had a band called Smashing Pumpkins. You know what I I mean? Artists name themselves stuff. Okay.
We had a band called Green Day, which we found out.
Green Day found out a whole lot different.
than
what it was about.
Found out why they called us all Green Day. Like, okay.
Right. Shit. I still don't even know why this nigga's name is. What's this nigga's name is? NBA Young Boy Never Broke or something. Oh yeah, what's his name?
Never Broke Again. Never
broke again. Like that's that dude. You know what I mean? Shit, Ray Schmurda.
Yeah.
Backwards is drummer's ear. Like, you know, so the nigga name is Big Wild, and the album is called Efferusphere. Now, what is that? You made up a word. Okay, well, Aquemini, you know what I mean? It was a word that's made up also, right? A portmanteau of Aquinas and Gemini, I guess, right? Aquarius and Gemini. What he means by Efferusphere is this space, this meditative space, this self-reflection space, this kind of like almost like psychedelic kind of awareness, right? Self-awareness kind of space. So that's kind of what he means by that. I don't think you'll find it in any dictionary anywhere, but that's the whole point of that. And the album does have those. It's electronic music, you know what I mean? So you get a lot of like trance fixed like beats and like that puts you in a trance kind of thing, you know what I mean? Like this is just the way that EDM kind of goes, right? And it puts you in the zone and you're like just vibing out. So the original, that was the name of the original. This one is called Efferusphere with Friends. And bruh, that shout outs to you for your original album, but the Friends part made it a lot better. This album is way better. This album is way better. It was good. The other one was good. But bro, he's got all these. Every song is featured with somebody else, like a different producer that he brings in, or a vocalist, or some other collaboration that he does. So that's why it's called With Friends, because these are people that are collaborating with him on these songs that he wrote previously. Freaking which one is this one here? The Feel Good is way better in the Corey Wong production. That's the song originally he sung the other one. This version is way better. Freaking Blue, way better. Walking Outside, the clip that we used was Something in the Water that we used for the Vibes clip was the song called Something in the Water. And that one hit harder, dog. It just hit harder. I'm sorry. Than the original, you know? And so he's going to do numbers with this, because if you was a fan of the first one, you know what I mean, giving you a refreshed album that feels completely new. Some the songs still have, of course, the elements of the original, but it's so fresh. It's its own album, and I hope it gets all the credit and more that the first one did. I start off by saying he's a producer, he's a musician.
Yeah.
He's not even a vocalist. He had to get singing lessons for Efferusphere, the last year's album. He had to give. So he like with that song Feel Good. He was nervous with that one. He's like, that's his most challenging song. Like the falsettos that you have to hit on that one, and then like it gets some low notes in there in the same one. Like, nigga, I'm a producer, I'm an engineer, you know what I mean? And, and but it's he can't, you know, he worked on it, he practiced at it, he was naturally gifted at it, and it sounds good. It sounds good. He's not I'm not saying he's gonna be something. You would never know. You listen to him, you would never know this guy is not a vocalist. You know what I mean? I'm not saying he's some freaking great freaking Anthony Hamilton type singing type. I'm not saying all that. You know what I mean? But like, you would never know. You'd be like, oh, this is just another rock artist. Got me freaking what's his name? Freaking the front man for freaking, what's his name? Anthony. Damn it, what's this dude's name? The front man for Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Oh, I ain't wow. You going in right now?
What's this dude's name? I'm Acho. I'm a little Acho Lane.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Anthony Kiedis. His name, right? So Anthony Kiedis. And he's not a great singer, but like them songs hit when he sing them. You know what I mean? They hit when he sings them.
He has a sound. He has a sound.
He has a sound, right? Yeah. And so you know, check, yo, definitely. I'll say this though. There's a lot of the first album was a little bit more electronic than this one. This one definitely has 4 or 5 songs that maintain that that sort of genre. But a lot of the other ones, why I think this album is gonna have a little bit more reach, is because some of these songs turned more into like alternative funk rock.
Okay.
Which I love. You know, that's my bag too. So that's great. But I also appreciate, you know, an electronic album. You know, especially I'm not a big fan of just the instrumental EDM joint. It's all right, you know, background kind of stuff. But like, I'm not gonna really download and listen to just like the instrumental EDM, but like the vocal singing EDM with the EDM beats and bass and all that kind of stuff in the background with somebody singing with some like really stellar freaking astronomical sounding, space sounding, psychedelic sounding vocals. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, it gets you into this vibe. Like it's real wavy. But this one has a lot of this version has a lot of like funk, alt rock, indie rock, where you could probably you'll hear it on the radio almost kind of thing, right? So there's a little bit more commercial appeal available on this album, so I think it'll have more of a reach, and I'm hoping it does just as great numbers as the previous one.
Oh, that's awesome, man! So definitely, guys, check out those recommendations. And I still think Darwin is a little cap when it comes to the NAS. I still feel there's some bias there, but I'll accept.
Crazy.
I'll accept his assessment for now.
Those 5 albums alone are classic albums, though.
No, I have been hearing that. I have been hearing that.
Like KD 1, 2, and 3, and then you know the 2 Magic albums. They're classic albums. And then you let's say you add just the first 3, you know, his from his career. That's 8 albums minimum. And some people might argue with you about, you know, some of the other ones where you would say rap is dead or hip hop is dead, or I Am, you know. So somebody might argue with you for some of these other ones, whatever. But like, so perhaps there's 9 to 10 classic albums this person gives you.
Yeah,
he's supposed to be fucking top 5 on everybody's list.
Yeah, I like you make a valid point, because when I think about it, like we already know Illmatic, Stillmatic. We already know that's nobody argues that.
And let's say you just count the KD series.
KD, that's 5 right there.
That's 5.
Yeah. And depending on how you feel about Magic 1, that's just but you're saying Magic 2 is definitely it. So even if I didn't agree with you with Magic 1, that's still 6 right there. Like even if I would, which is for any rapper, that's stellar.
That's stellar. So some rappers don't even have 6 albums, period.
Yeah. Right, yeah.
Come on, man. He's supposed to be top 5 on everybody's list.
That's crazy.
Like Jay-Z said, we'll see how it goes when he no longer exists. Oh, you like that? You like that, didn't you? Well, for more clips, click here.
Absolutely, and for the full show, click here.
I can't even see your hand.
Oh, crap.